Hi everyone, excuse the rather boring scenery. I'm here at a conference room at ACC getting ready for the new semester, and I'm really excited for this class. I know I already did a sort of an orientation video just about going through the Blackboard site and all that, but I thought it would be more fun since this is a multimedia class and since online classes can really feel kind of impersonal, that instead of doing a generic written intro post in a discussion board, which if you're in other online classes, you're already doing a bunch of those already, I thought instead we could do little video intros. So yours can be super, super simple. Don't worry if you are still sort of new to the technology. Some of us are going to be a little more experienced, some of us are going to be a little less experienced, and really that's okay. This is a chance to start getting familiar with some of the tools we're going to use and see each other face to face and have a little more fun. So again, yours can be really simple. If you just do a video selfie on your phone and upload it, you're in good shape. It's great. Don't stress out about this one. It's for participation points and practice and for meeting each other. So I have been at ACC since 2013. I've lived in Austin since 2008. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. It's all sort of basic information, but I actually thought, again, just to make this a little more fun and interesting, I would talk about the 5 things about me that I happen to think are pretty interesting. Obviously, I teach technical writing. I love all sorts of writing. I've been writing seriously since I was 12 years old. My favorite genre is poetry, and I've actually published 2 poetry books. My favorite types of poetry, I mostly write free verse, but my favorite forms are the villanelle and the haiku. I actually have a haiku exchange with a friend of mine who lives in Osaka, and we send each other a new haiku we've written every single week. And that's really fun for me, and it's a great way for me to stay in touch with my creative practice when the semester gets really busy. And even though poetry is my favorite form of writing, I actually really love being able to teach technical writing because I really enjoy getting into writing as a skill and writing as a tool for problem solving. So that's why I love teaching tech writing and multimedia stuff. I really love food. I think we all kind of love food because we love being alive. But cooking for me is just a really fun hobby. I think my favorite thing to make from scratch is a really nice loaf of homemade bread. The newest thing I just tried was homemade butter. So I have a butter churn, and I did make butter from scratch, and that was an experience, and that was really fun. Definitely something I'd do again. I love trying different types of food. I love when I have time making really complex meals. And I think my social media is like 90% just food I've made or food my partner has made, to be honest. In terms of types of cuisine I like a wide range of things. Italian food is near and dear to my heart. My mom's side of the family is Italian, and nothing can replace my mom's spaghetti and meatballs. But if you really pressed me and I could only eat one cuisine for the rest of my life, it would be Korean cuisine. I think kimchi is my most favorite food right now. I eat kimchi regularly. Sometimes people are shocked by the amounts of kimchi I will go through. I also love getting outside. So one of my big hobbies is hiking and camping. My favorite place to go camping is on the beach, especially Padre Island National Seashore. So not South Padre Island, but North Padre Island, just off Corpus Christi. I love it. It's close to the mainland, but far enough away that it feels nice and quiet and remote and doesn't get too busy. And one of the things I'd love to do is go down there during the spring and fall migration because the Texas coast is, during migration, home to the most diverse population of birds in the country. So if you go down during migration, you'll see things like from the Pacific Northwest that you would never actually see in Texas because they're passing through, landing for a night, and then on their way. So you always see something different. So yes, I do. I love bird watching and camping. I think the most difficult but the most rewarding camping experience I've had was not bird watching, but backpacking and hiking Guadalupe Peak, which is the highest peak in Texas. It was my first backpacking experience. Probably not. It was probably a little ambitious for a beginner, but I did it, and it was wonderful, and I'm so glad I did it, and I would totally do it again. My favorite bird is the wild turkey. They are really majestic and beautiful in their own way. I think some people get kind of like afraid of them, and they're physically intimidating. They are big birds. I admit they don't have the most gorgeous faces. There are certainly a lot more elegant birds out there, but their feathers are gorgeous. I think they're really majestic, and I just love to look at them. When I was out camping out a few years ago, we were out camping about 3 hours west of here, and there was at the park we were at, it was a whole flock of wild turkeys just roaming around, and we saw them all day, and that was such a delight for me to just watch them, listen to them, and see them from a safe distance, but still really close. So that was great. If you are paying attention to this video and you have a favorite bird, I would love to hear what your favorite bird is. If you don't have one, that's okay, but I always like to ask people what their favorite bird is, because that is not a typical icebreaker question. I haven't gotten to travel as much as I would like in my life, but I'm getting to a point where I'm starting to do that more, both this country and internationally. Mexico is just about my favorite country to visit. I love Mexico City. Mexico City is definitely my most favorite city that I have ever been to. I love it. And one of my most memorable trips was in 2015. My partner and I drove from Austin all the way down to Veracruz. We didn't do it in one shot. We actually stopped in Real de Catorce, a mountain town. It's a sort of a ghost town. It used to be a silver mine, and it's now actually a pilgrimage site. And even though I do not practice Catholicism, the town still has a very spiritual energy about it, even if that's not your particular religious choice. It's a very beautiful place. So we did that for a few days, then drove down to Veracruz, spent a few days on the coast, and then drove back. That was my first time in Mexico, and it was a really amazing way to just see the country and to really understand some of the geography. I was really ignorant at that point, and to the extent to which Mexico is so full of mountains, and they were really gorgeous mountains, and really that trip left a huge impression on me. More recently, I went on a difficult yet thrilling, exhilarating trip to Peru, specifically Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu is definitely difficult to visit, especially if you struggle with altitude, but wow, it's so worth it. I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to do that. Definitely a challenge, but just truly there's no place like it in the world. So that was really amazing for me. And we also went to other parts of Peru. So we actually went to the Amazon basin in Peru and saw giant Amazon river otters, which are really hard to spot because they're endangered. I believe there's fewer than 2,000 of them left on the planet. And so they're really hard to find, and we were just canoeing around, and we're about to leave the lake we were canoeing around, and a herd of 6 of them just swam by, and we weren't expecting it, and it was incredible. So those are, I think, the 5 things that if I was introducing myself to a group of strangers, I would definitely share. So again, you don't have to do 5 things in your video. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to make it 10 minutes. You can make it 3, or two, that's fine. Anyway, this has been fun for me to record, and I look forward to seeing yours. Talk to you later.